LinkedIn and all that other stuff. It would never work.
Press a button and we're on.
Yeah. We'd be sitting, are we on? Hello? Are we on?
We sounded like our mothers. Are we doing it? Johnny, are we in?
We'll get going. We'll let everybody load up before we officially start the show. Suk, what's going on, babe? And what is it, Thursday now?
It's Thursday. It's Thursday. The kids are officially back at school. My kids were going through like a little thing. They're both good. Everything's good.
Can we talk about your guy from yesterday's show, A.R. Rahman?
A.R. Rahman, yeah.
He shared the show, Suk. He's got 24 million followers, I guess, Facebook and Twitter.
More than that, probably.
I think yesterday we had close to 1 million views thanks to A.R. Mostly Indian folks like yourself. Just watching the show. Yeah, it was great. So it was so wow. And
listen,
like
you're learning about a whole other part of the country that doesn't exist. For most Americans, like it's just all about America.
And he's like, I mean, he's the cream of the crop, right? I mean, top of the heap.
He's beyond cream of the crop. I told you,
you said he was the Brad Pitt. You compared him to Brad Pitt.
Well, no, I mean, like when it comes to like musicals and scores, and I told you, like he gives these concerts that are these like total immersion concerts, and like he's transcended English music. You know what I mean? Like he is. People are listening to fusion music. I think mainly because in America now, because of we're becoming a little bit more global in our thoughts, which I'm happy about.
Slumdog Millionaire doesn't get guy won 2 Academy Awards for Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah, not to mention a BAFTA and every other award that was going on during that year.
Suk, we have an amazing show today. Cara Buono is here. I've worked on getting Cara on the show since I'm 15 years old. We finally got it done. Of course, Karen Wheeler on Stranger Things and Mad. So do you know Stranger Things, over the course of the 4 seasons that they have on Netflix, hundreds of billions of hours viewed on Stranger Things, and you have 0 hours viewed on Stranger Things.
My children have watched it.
You gotta get on it though, dude.
Right.
You gotta get on it.
I know,
it's unbelievable.
I know.
And of course, Murray Sawchuk's coming up later on. Big Vegas illusionist. He was in the semifinals of AGT. He's got his own special coming out now. So what a great show, Suk. I think we can go. You ready to get started?
Ready to do it, babe.
All right, here we go. Nothing we said ever makes it to the show, Suki, so that's fine. Here we go. In 3, 2, and 1.
The Suki and Scott Show.
This is one of the funnest shows I've ever done.
Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling.
It's musical. It's magical.
Suki and Scott, the 7 of Hearts. Exactly.
This is a sexy show.
Someone's getting some action.
Now, these larger-than-life personalities are on an exciting new journey as they bring you the Suki and Scott Show.
You guys nailed it. You're great. You ask great questions. You listen.
I answered you because I have respect for you guys, and it was a question respectfully put.
The Suki and Scott Show is your one-stop destination for humor.
You like De Niro and Cape Fear. Counselor!
Entertainment.
Jesse's girl.
Wonderful.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
And optimism.
You guys have such amazing energy.
Ultraviolet light, it gets in there and it just fights the kung flu, is that right? Okay.
Let's laugh together.
I love him.
The Suki and Scott Show.
That's the best intro for a show I maybe have ever seen.
Really?
Your intro is fantastic.
Mama. Every time he says that, Suki, I get the hair on my arms.
Eric Roberts was such a thrill.
How great is Eric Roberts? Yeah. Eric, and by the way, Eric Roberts has like over 500 movie credits right now, and he's still going.
Well, you said he was like he had like broken some sort of Guinness World Record for how many.
They call him left and right to make movies. When he was on, remember he was talking about he goes overseas to all these different countries. He's making movies. I mean, he's getting paid. He's still he's one of my favorites. My thumb, Charlie. They broke my thumb. So listen, we are rolling along. What a great show we have today. Cara Buono's coming on. Of course, such a prolific career. Stranger Things, Karen Wheeler. Just a fantastic character. And Suk, anytime you could go back to the 80s and recreate that time period, I'm in. I don't care. I don't care what series it is. I am in. But Stranger Things, of course, I watch with my kids, and it's just it's so
Gladiator too, right?
Yeah. Suk, when I watch Stranger Things, when I'm watching Stranger Things, I say to my kids, I'm like, what kind of exotic drugs do you think that the Duffer Brothers who write the show, what kind of drugs do you think those guys are taking to come up with the stuff that they come up with on Stranger Things? It's phenomenal.
It's interesting. Isn't there another writing team that are brothers too? I forgot what those they were really big hits in the early 2000s.
There's a bunch of them. But listen, so we got Kara coming on in just a sec. Murray Sawchuck's coming up in just a bit. Semifinalist AGT Suk. This guy on America's Got Talent, not only did he make a girl turn into a tiger right in the middle of the cage, he also made a Ferrari disappear and an 1819 freight train, Suki, disappeared into thin air.
This is the real deal, and he's got his own show in Las Vegas.
Yeah, he's also
a real deal, not just
he's a comic, he's a host, he's got his own show. So real funny guy. He's going to come on. He's got a new kids book out. And Suk, before we bring Kara on, yesterday we were talking about the list, right, of top 200 singers that they had put out.
That did not make the list, or that did.
Yeah, people that didn't make the list. Well, I was just looking at the best songs thus far of 2022, 2023 so far, updated. Best songs of all time.
It has to be the Harry Styles song.
No, I'm saying of all time. Best songs of all time.
All time.
So when you go to Spotify, they have, you'll never, number 5. You ready
Let
for
it
this?
Be.
You're close. Number 5 is Papa Don't Preach.
Okay, Madonna. Okay.
It's got 89 million downloads to it. Bohemian Rhapsody is 4.
Do you know I cut out of school to watch that video be made on Staten Island?
Oh, the Papa Don't Preach?
Yeah, it was done on Staten Island.
That's the one where she was down and the guy was on the cross and all that stuff.
No, Papa Don't Preach is when she was pregnant. It was very, very controversial at that time. It was like 1986 or something like that. Oh,
that's the one with Danny Aiello.
Danny Aiello is playing dad. Papa Don't Preach. He worked in the pizzeria.
Yeah. Papa Don't Preach. Also, so Bohemian Rhapsody is at number 4.
I can see that.
According to this list. Number 3, you got a little Elvis in there with "We Can't Go On Together" with Suspicious Mind. Number 2, which apparently has the most downloads, but it's not the number 1 song, is a Michael Jackson song. Can you guess what that song would be? Nope, not Thriller. Number 1 selling album of all time, but this is one of the top songs.
It's dun 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 dun.
That's Thriller.
Oh, that's Thriller, right?
That's Thriller too. No, Billie Jean. They have it number 2.
Okay, also off the Thriller album. Okay.
And the number 1 song was a Beatles song, and it's
Hey Jude.
Day in the Life.
A Day in the Life.
I don't know how they come up with that. That's the one that goes day after day, alone on a hill. So real quick, before we get going with Kara, Suki, your favorite song. That's it. What's your favorite song of all time?
Of all time? That's a tough one.
Favorite song of all time. Is it Sweet Caroline? What do you like?
No, it's not. It's definitely not a Neil Diamond song. I love Neil Diamond. Much respect to him. It would probably have to be a Beatles song. Here Comes the Sun. Here comes the sun. I do love Hey Jude. I do love, Hey Jude is up there with Here Comes the Sun. A lot of Billy Joel is in my playlist. If
You're telling me that whoa, she's a lady. Not even in your top 10.
Not in there.
Tom Jones, not in the top 10.
I love Tom Jones. Don't get me wrong. I love him. I love Tom Jones, but he's not up there.
All right, you ready to rock?
And neither is Engelbert Humperdinck.
Oh, so I sing you to sleep after the loving.
But I love Engelbert.
We are definitely not a millennial show to watch.
No, we're not.
I'll tell you that. Here we go. So Caro Bono's coming up. Here's a little bit so I can refresh your memory. Here she is, and we'll bring her on the other side. Take a look. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. There she is.
Hi. Can
The
you hear me?
star-
Yes.
Yeah, we can
Okay,
hear you good. Ladies and gentlemen, the star of Beer League with Artie Lang, one of my favorite movies. There she
Me
is,
too.
It is.
I love meeting beer league fans.
Oh my God, what a fun, what a
Truthfully.
great movie. So, how long ago was that already, Car?
Let's see. I know
That's gotta-
you said this show is not for what, millennials?
It's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
no, it's
No,
definitely
actually,
not for millennials.
What year was that? 2005, I think.
Beer League, I'll tell you
Yeah.
in 2 seconds.
I
Well, the
think so.
world was different.
Yeah, you could
Beer
never
League,
make
you
that
close.
movie now.
2006. 2006 was Beer
Okay.
League. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You probably shot it in 2005, Kara.
Probably. Yeah, definitely.
And wasn't Norm Macdonald was in there too, right?
It was Ralph Macchio.
Right,
Oh
Ralph
my God,
Macchio.
amazing.
And I know, right? And a bunch of great comedians, Jimmy Palumbo from New York, and that amazing guy from
I feel like
something
Norm,
911. Like a lot of great comedians were in it.
I feel like Norm Macdonald was in that
Might have.
movie.
Yeah.
For
Tina
some
Fey
reason.
had a cameo, which was fun.
So funny, so
Yeah.
funny. And you, do you remember your character's name was Linda?
Linda Salvo.
Nicely done. Look
I
at
love
you.
that. It was such a
You're
fun
1 for
character.
1 on the trivia.
On my trivia.
We're gonna get to trivia.
Kara, listen, obviously people, they see you now. You're so associated with Karen Wheeler,
Yeah.
right, from Stranger Things. And when you, and like I was saying to Suki, I mean, billions and billions of hours viewed on Netflix, right? I think season 4, the first weekend, it was like a couple of 100 million hours was already viewed, right? It broke records, right?
It broke records. Season 4 of Stranger Things broke records for viewership. It also been off the air for quite a long time, due to the pandemic and things. So I think fans were excited to get
clamoring to get it back. Now, when that first started, right, when you were shooting it and you saw your character and you guys are back in that 80s genre, and that they're taking you back and bringing you into the 80s hair and the homes with the did you think then, I know it's hard to think back, but while you were shooting and then you saw some of the dailies or whatever it is, did you guys, was there a feeling that this was going to be a huge success, or was one of those, we don't really know?
I don't think anyone could say they would have predicted the phenomenon that it has become. I remember reading the script when it was called Montauk. It was supposed to film in Montauk, Long Island. I mean,
oh wow,
yeah, and I just loved the script. I loved the pilot script. I love the genre. I'm a big sci-fi geek, so I was a teenager in the 80s, so it appealed to me on every level. And I just wanted to be, I was just crazy about it. I just wanted to be on the show. And I would have done like anything season 1. If they were like, I would have been, one of the technicians or the bad guys in the lab. That's how much I loved it. So,
Russian number 3.
Russian number. Yeah, exactly. FBI agent. Yeah. So I think we just all gravitated towards it and just loved the writing and everything about it. And just, it just took off from there.
Did you love going back and stepping back in time to shoot it? It was all And what's so funny is that the kids are so retro now. I don't know if you noticed it.
Oh, everything.
Yeah.
Everything is so retro 80s.
I grew up in the Bronx in the 80s, and like I had an older sister, and it was that big hair.
Oh yeah.
Thing. And you know how like you kind of get stuck in a time frame. So there's part of me, my friends know me. Like I just got my hair cut today, and I'm like, it'll never look this good again with my flat bangs. But the real part of me is still the big haired. Like I think I look the best with the
bigger poof.
That's how I see my best self. And my friends are like, no, you can't.
I'm 100% with you, Kara.
So, okay.
You might have grown up in the Bronx. I grew up on Staten Island, but we might have been separated at birth.
Oh yeah, it's just a slightly different ER pronunciation. But yeah, so I loved it. I love big hair,
the costumes.
How did you
the makeup?
Did you like the whole, because you're just this 80s mom, right, with the kids, and then all of a sudden you're this Mrs. Wheeler, this this sexy lady who's got this thing for Billy, right, the lifeguard, and everybody's like, whoa, Look at Mrs. Wheeler, huh?
Yeah.
A lot of people hit you with that when they recognize you, and it's because you and Billy, it was almost. I mean, there's those four letters that describe what you are in the show, but it's. I mean, I got to assume you guys had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't that took me for a surprise when I read the script, and I was like, well, this will be fun. It wasn't something that I expected the direction of Karen to go. But it was so much fun, in season 2, that scene that we had where we first meet at the door.
Yes,
and there's door. That, are you Karen's sister? And it's like, it was so much fun to play that. That sort of like, not that you play it for humor, but it was just enjoyable to play that scene. And I just met Dacre, who is, just an amazing actor and lovely. And it was just so much fun. And then, where it kind of went in season 3 was, we that bathing suit was custom designed by the costume designer, and then H&M.
Where did they find that bathing suit?
She made it. We kind of worked on it together, but she, of course, had the idea, sketched the picture, and we kind of put it together to see what felt flattering. And yeah, that's a custom designed by Amy Paris.
To keep it? I mean, that's like so cool.
No, I didn't get to keep it. I got one from H&M because H&M did it.
Oh, really?
That's so funny.
I went to H&M and I put it in my little maybe my daughter will want to wear this someday.
Cool.
Did they give you a discount because you're the actual? No, nothing, right?
I just walked in there like
when you go in the mornings, and I just read they're coming back season 5, but it's like 2024 it'll be out, right? Was that told to you guys already, or am I just reading that online somewhere?
I know that we're going to shoot season 5. I really don't know anything about it.
Right, season 5. Yeah, I just read that it'll be on Netflix around 2024. So when you come in and they have to, because this isn't that's not a wig, right? That's your hair.
That was a wig.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there were 2 seasons I had my own hair, season 1 and season 3. Because in season 3, I knew I was going to be in the pool. That's my hair. And I didn't want to swim in a wig. And I kind of didn't want that like constraint of feeling like, is it going to fall off or something? So that was my own hair in season 1 and 3. And then season 2 and 4, it's a wig. And
I think I'll be there. How long are you in hair and makeup to get the hair just so?
They're masters. They do it very quickly. Once you have a set of hot rollers in, it really does the trick.
True.
Right? Come on.
Hot rollers set in.
Hot roller set. And my hair is actually very obedient. It'll stay like that. I've been lucky. I've lost a lot of hair in the process of it getting damaged, and I think I'll forever use wigs from now on. But I love using my own hair. It just feels, real and it's authentic, but it really does a number on the health of it. But,
so great. So great. I'm looking forward to it coming back. And Suk, listen, in the interest of full disclosure, what I didn't mention was before Cara was married, she and I dated briefly. So I just, I figured,
oh my God, he has been stalking you, Cara. Honestly, he has.
Well, that was the picture.
We had such a nice meet. Is that, we support this Adapt New York organization. They do
for James Grant.
Yeah, for James Grant, who we love, who they do incredible work for so many children and families with special needs in the city. And, I go back every year to do the gala and raise money. It's just a great group. They do amazing stuff. So, God, I look so young in that picture.
It's so funny because that had to be around 2017, 2018.
I think 2017.
And we were all sitting at the table, and I texted my older daughter, Suk. I texted Maddie.
You'll never guess who's sitting next to me.
I said, I think the mom from Stranger Things is sitting right at my table.
I made a video for her. Didn't we do a FaceTime?
Yeah, we did a little FaceTime. Yeah. And by the way, we were also sitting at the same table with, I think, Susan Lucci. And also, you ready for this? Because it's in the news right now. Her name just went. Amy Robach and
Amy Robach, okay.
And Andrew Shue.
Yes,
can they just leave them alone? I mean,
it's like and they have pictures of her. It's like and TJ Holmes, and he's getting lambasted.
They can love who they want to love. Final answer. Done.
Anyway, Kara, also just now you have something new that you were telling me about, something that
Yes.
you just completed, right? For Lifetime?
Yeah, it's called the Kara Robinson story, and it's based on this incredible true story of Kara Robinson, who was abducted and escaped her kidnapper. And not only that, I mean, she was amazing that she kind of was so able to stay present that she memorized, details in where she was being kept captive, phone numbers on the refrigerator,
Wow.
which helped her then help the police locate him and then discover that he was also a serial killer. So she ended up saving her life and many other people's lives.
So this
by
was what
catching him.
happened in South Carolina, right? Somebody put a gun to the kid's neck and took her off right from the front of the
lawn.
house.
I know. Yeah. And I met her, it was so interesting to meet a person who you're playing has such a story. It was like, she's incredible. I mean, she does so much advocacy work for survivors of sexual assault and so many things. She's just an incredible spirit. So I'm excited for it.
Smart. What was that like did you ever meet her or?
I didn't, but she is supporting the film and its release and, all the follow up to it. So
it's kind of incredible. Like two survivors just really taking their voice and helping other people. Those two stories are pretty
incredible, right?
Incredible.
Yeah.
And not only we're talking about Stranger Things, one of the biggest shows of all time on Netflix,
Rados.
one of the biggest shows on cable, right? Look at you, huh? Was it Kelly Moltisanti?
Kelly.
That was my hair too. Oh yeah. I mean, how lucky am I to have been on The Sopranos and
to be with Michael.
Michael, I know. I was on his podcast a while ago.
I love Michael.
It's so I remember getting that job and like falling down into a puddle of tears. I was so excited. I just, I didn't think I'd ever get on it. How many roles would there be before the show ended? And yeah, I mean, that was just like dreamy. Every actor or crew member you talk to from that show will say it is like unlike any other show they've ever worked on. And I mean, Stranger Things is incredible. I've been on incredible shows, but there was really something like you really felt like you were in part of this family.
I was actually on The Sopranos too. I was, David Chase was looking for like a local reporter to do this one thing called the Two Tonys. So it was like season 3 or season 4, I believe. Season 3, I think.
Okay.
Was the second episode. And, he really auditioned. He handpicked 5 New York City personalities that he wanted for the show. And then I'm not an actress, Kara. I have to go in and memorize lines.
But you're an anchor, Sue. You're an anchor.
Come on.
No, I can't do that. I mean, what you guys do is just phenomenal. Like verbatim line. I mean, no, I can't do all that. But anyway, I got picked and it was just like, I was 32, 33. No, I was maybe 34 years old. Mm-hmm. It was just one of those, like, I didn't know what I was stepping into because it was so early on, 3rd season. Mm-hmm. It was just starting to catch fire. But boy, oh boy. I mean, like you said, that was a very special set.
Like everyone was really nice and welcoming and, you really felt like, I'm sure he put you through the ringer in the audition. I mean,
he was really nice. He was nice and he was kind and it was very nerve wracking. I was with Penny Crone back in the day.
Penny, yeah.
Remember Penny?
Yeah.
Anyway, I made a lifelong friend out of that. I don't know if you even remember him, but his name was Jeff Marchetti.
Of course, Marchetti.
So I made a lifelong friend out of that.
Yeah, Marchetti's a legend. Yeah. I was just in touch with him. His daughter's a big, but we're all friends. Like
I know you are. I know you guys are.
Marchetti's a legend. You know about him. Like he would, when Sopranos was always nominated for the Emmys, he would go, and he would when they won, he'd go on stage. He would go up on stage. He's in the crew. Like I forgot. Like is he a gaffer or grip? I'm sorry. I mean, I don't.
Who's the guy behind the meat?
No.
Everybody. If you worked on any show on Sopranos, you know him, and he's.
And you know what? He was such good friends with Gandolfini. Like one day, I got off the set and he was like, "Hey, I'm downtown. Come have lunch." And there was James Gandolfini, and here I am having lunch with James Gandolfini.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a little. I mean, that's how great that set was. Like you were saying, really, you guys were family.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the night before my first day on set, I didn't sleep. I had like knots in my stomach. I felt like I was gonna like. I mean, I mean, I've worked a lot, but I was like, oh my God, just keep it together, keep it together. And I remember Edie Falco opens her arms to me and she's like, welcome to the family. And she gave me a hug and everyone was so kind. I mean, I was still sick like the whole day, but after that, I felt much better.
What is your favorite memory from that set, out of curiosity, or just being there?
Gosh, you know, I remember we actually, when we got nominated and we won the Emmy that year, I was part of it. It was the last season. And I remember we were all sitting together and it was really like being with a group of people who had never been in Hollywood before. And I mean that in the best way. Cause like the guys would be talking and like people would be like, shh, don't eat. They're talking. They're up on stage. Like someone's winning an award. And like people like, who's that? I've never seen them. I'm like, that's the guy from that show. And it was like everyone was kind of like, you know, like if you're like watching a movie with your Italian family and you're like, oh my gosh. And then in between, like they'd all go like to go into the green room, like, you want something to eat? We'll bring you back something to eat. And they bring back plates of food, and there were plates of food under our chairs. And I luckily been to the Emmys for other shows, like for Mad Men and Stranger Things, and it's never been like that. And I just remember like always like stifling a laugh and feeling like this is so much fun. And
it was like hanging out with guys in the neighborhood, right?
And happened to be at the Emmy Awards, and it was
exactly.
It was so much fun.
Carrie, your first gig, I read you had snuck into an audition. You were like 12 years old. Is that true? Like a Broadway, a Harvey Fierstein Broadway play?
Yeah, I think I was 11. I wanted to be, so I'll try to condense it. I wanted to be actually an astronaut. I was really good in science and math.
Okay.
And I only kind of fell into acting because I was sort of bored at school. I was just bored. And
you mean that ABC School After Special that we all remember?
Oh, the ABC. Yeah, I forgot.
I remember that.
Oh, gosh, sometimes my friends bring up, I mean, I've been acting like 30 years since I was a kid. No, it's true. And people will be like, do you remember this show was on? I was like, I don't really remember some of it because, it's been a long time. Anyway, yeah. So I eventually fell in love with the theater, even though I'd never seen a play. Like I fell in love with the craft of it and realized I really wanted to be a serious actor after kind of discovering I could do this and it would be an escape for me. And I used to hang out at this candy store and I used to tell the candy store guy, I'm going to be an actress. And he had this paper called Show Business. Do you remember this trade paper before Backstage?
Yeah.
And it was like $1 and he wouldn't let me read it. I had to pay for it. I remember I had to get money and pay for it. I was like, these are auditions I could go on. I had no idea. My parents weren't involved in my life. Long story short, I kind of figured out what you needed: a headshot, a resume. My headshots were from the local wedding photographer.
Love it.
I had terrible acne. They called me Nestle Crunch. I had a beret with that fuzzy hair. I had braces. It was really a bad look, but I'm like, I'm going to do this. And then, I don't know. Yeah, there was this off-Broadway play called Spook House. And it was for the understudy. And oh my God, where did you get that?
See, I led you right into it.
Wow. Yep. And I remember it was at the Equity Lounge. And I was like, equity, that means equal. I'm equal and free. And apparently they asked for my card. I'm like, I don't have a card. And then I thought they were going to call the police on me, because I snuck, when they left the little guard area, I snuck in and I saw the little room and I went in with my pre-planned speech of I'm an actress and I'm really right for this part because she's from Brooklyn and everyone says I got an accent and I talk like this and they were laughing at me. I'm like, why are they laughing at me? They're like, come back, pick up the sides and come back to audition. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, what are sides? Sides are what they call, the audition scene. Instead of calling it an audition scene from the script, they call it sides. Okay?
Oh.
And I was like, what the hell are sides? So then I went back. I was like, I'm here to pick up the sides. And I went, I was sitting at this diner. I memorized everything and you had to smoke a joint in it. I never did any drugs. And I took a piece of loose leaf paper out of my notebook. And in this scene, I went back. I rolled the longest joint because I didn't know what it was. And they're laughing at me. And this was a scene where she's crying, right? And I'm crying and I'm smoking my loose leaf joint. And I'm like, they're laughing at me. This is a serious scene, And then I was like, I'm never going to get an acting job in my life.
Oh my God, that is the best story.
3 days later, my mom's like, somebody called and said, you got a a part. I was like, oh my God.
And then
your mom is like, you got a part in something. Don't you love how our parents were just so hands off back then?
Well, my oldest brother was like, what is this? Is this like legitimate? Like, well, I was like, well, I'm a minor. One of you has to come down with me to like sign the contract. I remember telling them that.
So funny.
Oh my gosh. What's that from?
I don't even know. Is that you?
I don't even know.
I think that's you.
It is me, but I don't remember what it's from. Oh,
there
that's
you
from
go.
Chutney Popcorn. Yeah, that's a good
Chutney
little
Popcorn.
indie.
Yeah. You
and that's the middle girl is Nisha Ganatra, who directed Chutney Popcorn. That's our press photo for that. And she's a very big director now.
That's so funny. And then, of course, who can forget you in Kicking and Screaming?
Kicking and Screaming.
I love that too. Look at my hair.
I love that
hair.
hair.
All about my hair.
It's all about the hair. And listen, before you go, Kara, it would be remiss if we didn't talk about Mad Men.
Oh my God. Yes, please. Let's talk about Mad Men.
Crime if we didn't talk about you and John Hamm and Mad Men. That also just it's what a fantastic show that literally kind of changed. Well, that was AMC, right? That was,
yes,
I mean, it changed the game for AMC, changed the game for John Hamm, really. And just a phenomenal, men run things kind of world you were in there.
Yeah, that was another, like, so happy to have gotten that role, and also couldn't believe it because that was season 4, so I was also a huge fan of the show. And look, I mean, those costumes, the everything, the set, all the detail, the phenomenal acting. My character was so interesting, and yeah, I mean, it was interesting. HBO passed on that, right? That's
which is crazy. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
You'd love to see go to the executive who passed on it and be like, "What are you?
No, we're going to pass on.
What's wrong with you?"
So, does your daughter want to do any of this, or?
She's sort of interested in it. She actually is a really good visual artist and loves to draw and write. So I kind of tell her, like, kind of do everything. You be in charge. So if you want to be an actor, you write your own stuff.
Right now.
That's
the way to do it, right? Create your own content, build your own content. Yeah.
Yeah. You're in charge of your own destiny, which is what people, especially the young people, have today that didn't exist when I was starting out. So
yeah,
true.
That's how we feel on this show, Kat. We run our own destiny. And listen, before you go, we're talking about the top songs already of all time, the updated version for 2023. And I was telling Suki, Day in the Life, the Beatles, they have it #1. I'm not really sure how. It's a great song. I don't know how that's at #1. But if you had what's your all-time favorite song if you had to pick one? Like if you were in the shower, you had to sing one song in the shower, $1 million prize, what would the song be?
Gosh, I couldn't sing the song, but Landslide.
Oh, Landslide.
Oh, yeah. And the landslide, bring it down.
Yeah, I just love that. I don't know. I always stop and listen to that song.
No, that's a beautiful song. Yeah, Stevie Nicks.
Landslide. What's the one you run around the house, singing to your kids if you guys are, hanging around, having some fun?
Let's see. I'm a huge Pink fan. I love Pink.
Great entertainer.
Like, she's a great entertainer. And
her concerts are amazing.
Well, I saw her documentary, and she's such a great mom also.
Mm-hmm.
What's that song? And so I'm still a rock star.
Yeah,
I got my rock star.
Where's this freaking song? I was just looking at it recently. Where we go, where I go, where we go. It's like not one of her more popular songs, but I don't know. Pretty much like any Pink song I'll put on, and my daughter's like, "I'm so sick of the Pink songs. I need some new music, Mom."
I love it.
This is the Harry Styles house.
Yeah.
This is
My
daughter is way into Harry Styles.
Yeah, he's a great performer. I mean, he's just amazing. Yeah.
You know what's funny, real quick? My daughter, who's going to be 13, she just started listening. I guess she was watching How to Lose 10 Ways to Lose a Guy. You know that movie, 10 Ways to Lose a Guy? I think Drew Barrymore in that one.
Yeah, I think so.
So I guess Carly Simon's "You're So Vain" is in that. Is in. So yesterday I passed the shower. She's going, "You're so vain." Like, is she listening to Carly Simon?
That's so cool. Well, I guess, all these things are getting discovered, right?
Yeah, it's
rediscovered through TikTok, believe it or not.
Yeah.
A lot of the old music.
Yeah.
Carol, listen, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's great to see you guys.
Oh,
Absolute
great to see you,
pleasure.
Kara. Thank you so much.
Next time you come on, we'll do Cara Buono movie trivia. You'll love it. You'll have a great time. And just keep doing what you're doing, my friend.
Thank you.
I can't wait.
What is your Lifetime project, Aaron?
February 11th. So in about a month.
February 11th. You know what? Let me just put that up again real quick before we leave. So
it's a real story.
Right? Yep. Coming up in about a month.
Kara Robinson story.
The girl who escaped. And almost, listen, Kara, this show almost as big as Stranger Things.
From your God's ears.
These are all the places that you'll be on. Thank you so much.
We'll
Kara.
do this again.
Oh, please don't take another year and a half to come back. All right. When we're in the studio, that's when you'll come back on. Okay.
And I'll see you at the gala, right?
Yes, we will be at the gala. I don't know. Now that I'm not on Pix anymore, they don't invite me. I'm not big enough.
You just gotta go anyway.
Just show up and sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Jay. I'm gonna say, listen, Kara wants me at the event, Jimsy. Kara, thank you so much. Thanks. It was a pleasure.
Have a great day, you guys.
Bye,
Take care. Bye. Suk, what a career.
Amazing. What a nice woman.
Yeah, no, she's fantastic. I'm telling you, I've been
what an incredible career. She's been on so many hit, knock on wood.
Yeah.
I mean, you're lucky if you're on one hit show. She was on
She's on a few, yeah.
Stranger Things. I mean, it's
yeah. And I'll tell you what, listen, Stranger Things, like I said, billions and billions of views. I mean, the Super Bowl doesn't get that.
Can you imagine the residuals on that check?
I don't know. I don't know how it works with Netflix or things like that. I think they clip you with one thing. Suki, you ready to move on?
Yeah, sure.
Our boy Murray's here. Murray is here. He goes by Murray the Magician.
Murray the
K.
Murray
the Hook. Murray the Fish. Murray the Nose. Hey, get Murray on it. Anyway, listen, I was flipping through the other night, Suk, and I saw Masters of Illusion. They were doing some, recap show with Dean Cain is hosting. And I saw Murray on the show, and he's so talented. And then I remembered him from AGT. Semifinals of AGT, and I love when comedians mix, when magicians and illusionists mix comedy and all that other good and music and everything else, and he's got so many good things going on. He's got a kids book out. He's got a new special, a 1 hour special. Here's Murray right now, and then we'll bring him in on the other side. We'll talk to him for a few minutes.
Live from Las Vegas, Murray the Magician.
What's up, Las Vegas?
Where magic and comedy collide.
Come on!
As seen on America's Got Talent, Pawn Stars, and Masters of Illusion. With over 2 billion online views and over 3 million followers. The misfit of show business.
1, 2, 3. It's gone. 1, 2, 3. It's back. That's it. A lot of people don't believe it's a real wiener. Ma'am, touch my wiener. It's like a redneck breathalyzer. If you can do it, you're okay.
Hilarious comedy and mind-blowing tricks.
Check that out, huh? Who's your magician? And that's my aptitude test, you guys.
Murray the Magician. Coming to your screen for the first time with his 1 hour comedy special.
It's gone!
Ah, yes, indeed. There he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey!
Hello there. Good morning.
Murray. Murray's in Vegas, Suk. It's nice and early in Vegas.
Nice and early. Thank you, Murray, for waking up with us.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for waking me up. I appreciate it.
Murray, listen.
Since I was 16, so this is great.
Murray, did I see you got married recently?
I did. Yeah, I got married about a year and a half ago.
Oh, okay.
28th, 2021. My wife's a showgirl and dancer. She works with ZZ Top.
I hate when that happens. Murray, I hate when that happens. I hate when my wife's a showgirl.
Somebody has to do it. Come on, Scott.
That's so great. And she works with ZZ Top, you said?
Wow.
Yeah, she's a lead dancer for ZZ Top, and she's also a host of a show called A Touch of Burlesque here in Las Vegas, and and she's on the road this weekend. I think she's doing a private show with Michael Bublé. So she's all out there doing all sorts of things. So
wow.
Oh, I love it, man. And obviously you met her. You guys were doing a show together.
Yeah, way back in the day when my show was at Planet Hollywood for about 3 years, because I'm at Tropicana now, but I've been at Tropicana for about 10 back and forth. But her show was a late show there called Crazy Girls, and she was the host of that. It was one of the longest running shows in Vegas for years. It was originally at the Riviera, and then it went to Planet Hollywood. So she was a late show. I was the early show, and the producer owned the theater. And I was single at the time, and he was like, hey, you're single. I got some single girls in the cast. Let's go for dinner, which I hate that setup completely. Now you're on, it's pressure, and the dinner's never enjoyable, and it's a whole thing. But he owned the theater, so I'm like, I want to keep my show, so let's go for dinner. So I went for dinner, hung out, and we liked each other, and we've been together almost 7 years.
That's awesome. That's great. That's great. That's beautiful.
I love it.
I always think you meet the people that you love through introductions. You know what I mean? I think it's just kind of how it happens.
Yeah, and it's shocking nowadays when people go, what app did you meet them on? I'm like, I actually had dinner with her, with a group of people.
Isn't that a phenomena?
Well, wait, Murray, was it dinner with all these girls and you just picked the one that you liked, or how did it work?
No, that's the cast of Fantasy as well. So that's the show I'm with Luxor now, and Danny, my wife, was in that show as well with me as a guest actor during COVID, because, as you know, the world shut down, so there's only a few shows open. So she was in that show for a while as well. But yeah, I'm very fortunate to be in a lot of these amazing shows with these stunning women.
I love it. My mom is 86, and she still goes back and forth to Vegas for like a month at a time. She will not stay anywhere but the Luxor.
I love it.
To the Luxor. They give her the room. It's like $20 a night. You could stay for two months for $1,000. Just stay with us. And it's just
we're in Egypt. It's perfect.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny, man. What a great place to be. Las Vegas is so much fun. Murray, listen, man. You AGT. You were doing you Fool Us with Penn and Teller. When you do an AGT, obviously, and you've been on stage, you do the Laugh Factory, and you're a comedian, you're a host. When you're on stage at an AGT and you're doing, I saw you make a train disappear, dude, in a Ferrari, and you freaked Howie out when you changed the girl into the tiger. How big are the nerves when you're doing it in front of that kind of audience? Like, man, oh man, I hope this thing goes the way I planned.
Well, when you do something like that, you never know what to expect. And don't forget, I was on the 5th season of that. So that was 2010. So we weren't allowed to use our cell phones. We weren't allowed to use the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, any of that stuff to promote ourselves either. And so, we go on the show. And as you know, in this time and day and age, there's so much editing on television, not like the older days. And so that was a big thing, because a lot of people, the great thing about America's Got Talent, at least as a magician, they knew what they were seeing was in real time, because you had a live audience. There was no editing. That's, they almost, if something did go wrong, they also applauded that, because that would be good TV as well. And that was right in the mix of all that, when there's a lot of acts really looking bad on the show, whether it be the act's fault or the producer's fault, whoever that might be. But it's one of those situations. Now that's less and less, just because they've changed their format and style. So I was really concerned with a few things on that show, because I thought, man, I worked a long time to be good. But the exposure, at that time, when we did that train vanish and the tiger appearance, we had 22.5 million people watch us live.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot, especially for that time. It was really a lot. Now it's a ton. When the show only, I think, gets about 8 million views, which is still a lot. But 22 million is kind of hard to understand, So the minute we did those shows, we'd walk out the next day, if not even the next hour, in LA and go for lunch, and everyone would know who you are. I've never had that experience before.
Wow.
Instant, overnight. So yeah, the nerves were really high, because when you got so many moving parts, and every trick I did on that show, I'd never done before. Because when they hired me, my biggest thing was every magician did what they had in their repertoire, which wasn't always the greatest for national TV. So I thought, what would a producer want to see on TV? What would the people in the middle of America want to see? They want me to see a vanishing elephant, make a car appear, not just do a card trick, which nowadays, ironically, it's kind of card tricks and close-up magic, which they never wanted on the show. Right. And so I was trying to think, what can I do that's outside of the box? So everything I did in that show, it was the first time I'd ever done it. So literally, if you look at me, when I make the, tiger appear or the train vanish, I literally look twice to make sure the tiger's there. Because I was trained to God it was, because during rehearsals, there were many times times where we did the trick and there was no tiger, or we vanished the train and the train was still behind me. I'm like, it's not gone yet,
I mean, yeah, that's why. I mean, look at this train. It's like what was it, 1800s lomotive you made?
Yeah, way back in the days. The train that my father worked on way back in the days. My whole family was in railway except for me. So we had a train brought out that was very similar to the one my father worked on when he was 18. So
that's so cool.
Wow.
That's very cool to pay tribute. I like that.
Yeah,
that's really cool. And Murray, I was reading that you like most magicians and illusionists that we have on the show, you get involved in this. Somebody gives you that magic set when you're a youngster, right? And it changes your life.
Yeah.
I know your parents did that for you. And I mean, you were involved in a lot of different things. And Suki, he was taking dance lessons when he was like 7 years old.
Love it.
And just involved with all kinds of advanced things. But while you were growing up, was there a mentor for you or somebody who influenced you and led you along the way to become this, a superstar illusionist?
I think growing up, yeah, you have influences all along. The great thing about entertainment, as you guys know, is no one makes it the same way. It's like a snowflake. Everyone had, you don't go to school, come out and be a star. I mean, yeah, way back in the old studio system, you'd be, trained and then you'd become Debbie Reynolds. That system's gone a lot comparative now. But in magic, for me, I got a magic kit when I was 7 years old as a souvenir kind of thing from my parents when I went to Reno, because Reno was the hot spot back in the early 80s. It wasn't Vegas so much. And I'm from Canada originally. Yes, we would all go down there. And so, but from there on TV, I saw David Copperfield, because he did a special every year back in the...
I remember the David Copperfield special.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right. Every year it was phenomenal. And how he started, he used to have all the stars, I think from ABC on that year as his assistant. So it was nice promo for all the TV shows that season. And then he also jumped on their fan wagon as well, and became more famous. It was really smart. So I watched him all those years and got a magic kit. And then once I was in the business, there's a magician named Cardini, very famous magician in the 30s, 40s, 50s. And I loved his style because he always played this drunk kind of magician. And everything just happened to him. And he would be surprised as the audience would. And then once I got into the business, I started, meeting other magicians. The one that really took it for me was a guy named Mr. Electric. And I know he just had his photo up there.
Yeah.
Where he lit light bulbs in his hand. And I was friends with him and his wife, Carol, up until his death a few years ago. We were friends for over 20 years. And, he was the type of guy that taught me, Murray, when I was young, he's going to be a magician. As a young kid, you're very talented. You can do a card trick. You can do stuff you buy at a magic store and be cute. And you'll for 5 years, you'll work because you're this cute little kid doing tricks that work. Or so you can spend a year learning that and you'll work for 5 because you're cute and young and it works. Or you can spend 5 years and figure out how to become different and look original and you'll work for 50. So that's what I really took under my belt. So that's why, I look the way I look. I do things a little off just because didn't want to be your typical, your typical kind of, store-bought magician. So that's kind
of
it.
I love it, man. I love it. Listen, we're gonna talk about you got a children's book, and I want to talk about Pawn Stars a little bit. You want to do a couple quickies? You got some things lying around the house?
Why not? Always have things lying around. So, I'm a magician, so I got these sponge balls seem to be a thing in magic. I don't know why, but we just have these things. You learn these things, so why not? So I got a red, of course, ball and a black. All right. If I take the red one here and put it in my fist, and I take the black one here. All right. And I'm going to take this, push this into my fist like so. And if I go like this, all right, how many balls do I have in my hand?
Well, you should have two. I know that.
I should.
Yeah.
I think I would, but really, I actually have a square. That's why it's so confusing to live with me. But nothing's as it seems. It's just that's the way. I don't even know how that works, but it just I do it. My hands, it happens, and that's the way.
I love that.
That's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Weird, right? And then I got this one. Whenever I'm out, people always ask me for random things. So we still have dollar bills are very common, right? And so I find if you do this and you go like this, if you need some candy, you can actually.
Oh, my God. Jesus!
Isn't that great?
I love Mentos, by the way. Love them.
Yeah. See, I'm like my own 7-Eleven. I just sit around and just create things.
Jesus, how the hell did you do that?
I'm not sure.
And you know what, Murray? I know that when you're meeting, before you're married and you're dating and you're meeting women, They love that stuff. You even go up to a girl in a bar. That's the ultimate like aphrodisiac to meet a new girl, Sook. If you're standing there, you're having a drink, guy comes up and starts doing, don't even have to speak. No opening lines. You just start with the magic, and boom, you're off and running.
It's a great icebreaker, you know.
Wow,
even for other people, you know. I always tell people who are waitresses or waiters or bartenders, I said, if you want to increase your tips in that, I said, let me teach you 2 or 3 tricks because it's a nice way to just have a conversation and break the ice, without having a weird, awkward "how are you doing" or "where are you from" or whatever the case is, So.
Oh, forget it, man. If I had a waiter or waitress who was doing magic at the table, that's double the tip. And I know working in Vegas, just looking at some of the people that you actually, you meet while doing shows and hanging out, that's not Madame Tussauds, man. That's Johnny Depp right there. And you just, you Cheech, and I mean, you go through it, and it just, are these all people? Well, and I know Neil Patrick he's big into magic as well.
Yeah.
But are these folks who are in Vegas or you're doing a show and they're just there?
Well, a lot of times, they'll come backstage and hang out, see a show. Like there's Wayne Newton. I was at the Westgate here in Vegas, which the Westgate was originally the International Hotel. That hotel is the hotel.
Yeah.
Presley did his shows at Liberace, all those people. So you run into people randomly, like the Johnny Depp one was over at Alice Cooper's charity, which I do a lot. 4 or 5 years I hosted that, called Christmas Pudding, and it's a give back to his society with Solid Rock in Arizona to help kids learn music and get involved in the arts, and so you end up becoming friends over the years, and Johnny Depp was the nicest man. I met him a couple times and worked with him, and I don't know him personally in the sense of where I can just make a phone call, but if we work together, we know each other, and he's just the nicest guy. I mean, once he got into the building, I've never seen so much security for somebody, but once he got into the building, he was super nice, and he smelled amazing. I don't know. You meet people in that, and I didn't know him properly, and I met him, and I'm like, not only does he look amazing, right, and he's got 17 stars, 4 belts, 3 belts, a little bit, looks like Jack Sparrow, and then you smell good on top, and I'm like, really, like just so
I imagine him smelling like coconut rum a little bit, right?
Exactly.
Little
or like
coconut
incense or some like cool like exotic smell.
I love it.
Super great person, a real nice gentleman, and a great act, and a good person. So, and we was doing a meet and greet there. As a side note, Alice Cooper was there, and Sebastian Bach, and all these big rock stars, and we're in line sign autographs as well. And he said, "Hey, look, you can come and sign autographs if you want, but just said, no, I'll stay in line as well." I said, "You don't have to, because I know it's going to be." Would you believe he stayed in that line the whole time, as long as everyone else to the very? He was actually the last person in that line, meeting people and signing autographs. And hugging people, so it's super sweet to all the
very
VIPs,
cool.
Yeah,
very cool. Yeah, you got this kids book out. At nighttime, we are all the same size. What's it about, and what made you want to do a kids book?
It was really random because I'm not a writer. I write like I speak, which is not the way you should write. It's the book. But during COVID, as we were all bored hanging out, and my wife and I, when we first dated, we're big on rescuing animals. So we have 3 long-haired Chihuahuas. They're all girls, and a cat named Kitten. I have no idea how we came with that name. And anyways, so this one dog, Bailey's really scared of everybody, always barking. As soon as you come in the house, hiding and barking, and never stops being scared. And when she was first dating me, she'd all of a sudden lie on the floor and watch TV with a pillow. And the minute she did that, Bailey, this dog, walked up and slept right by her head and watched TV with her. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Same thing when we went to bed. She hopped in bed. Bailey would hop up in bed, walk up, and go to sleep on the pillow, and wouldn't say a thing. And so I'd made a joke saying, well, at nighttime, we're all the same size, because the Chihuahua now would be the same height as her, lying down, almost all taller. And I thought, so I'd say this over and over, and I thought, what a cute name for a book. And I said that I got 1 page, but I need another 37. So I was thinking, I wonder what I could do with this. So then I made this book with this little kid that kind of looks like me, this Dennis the Menace type character, and he encounters all sorts of animals, snakes, bears, butterflies, giraffes, and all that. And basically it's a metaphor on not judging people on the way they look or sound, but seeing them eye to eye, and you understand them better. And so that's what the whole book is. And it's we released it a few weeks ago on Amazon and that. So
I love it. And this is available. People can get this on your off your website, right?
Yeah, website or directly on Amazon. You can find it. Yeah, it's a fun little book. And I'm really a visual person as a learner myself. So the book and the illustrator William Lotz made it really visually appealing. So even if the kids can't read well, whatever, the photos are really entertaining just to look at. So
I love it. You got any?
I love getting lost in that kind of illustrations.
Yeah, and again, listen, it's the holidays are coming up. President's
busy,
Day.
Murray. You are just
Murray's a busy man.
A magician who's very, very busy.
He's a busy man. Listen, Suki's hosting. He's doing comedies. It's great. And you got your special, your 1 hour special, Murray. Where can people see that?
Yeah, that just came out a few weeks ago on Tubi.
Tubi. Okay.
And it's free to download and that. And I just came out a few weeks ago. Yeah, we shot it here in Vegas about 10 months ago at the Plaza Hotel. It's just over an hour, about an hour and 15 minutes, and got a lot of new ideas and new tricks I've had for the last 20 years of my life, And everyone's talking about doing a special, and I held back on it. And I thought, because when you do a special, they see all your material instantly now. So when you're going on the road, you kind of got to make new material.
You got to do new stuff, right? Like a comedian, yeah.
So you kind of a lot of don't do that, because then you got to write new stuff. And so we have another one that we're getting ready to film this year as well. So I have enough material. So you know what, it's time to get that stuff out there. So that came out, and we're thrilled with it. And you just go on Tubi and download it, and it's have a laugh or two or three, So
that's true. Yep, Tubi. Yeah, we're on there as well. So after you watch your special, they can watch you here on this show.
See, what more do you want?
Do you got like any cards there with you, or any other up close stuff?
I got these. I got Tropicana cards, which are casino cards, and if you know anything about casino cards, they always cut the corners off, so you can't go back in the casino and use them. So, but I can still use them because they're all here. So obviously this is a regular deck of cards. There's 52 cards in here. If I ruffle through the deck, you can just say stop whenever you wish. All right.
Go ahead, Suk.
Stop.
Right there. Great. The hardest thing to do is find 4 aces. So you said stop right here. I'm just gonna take a wild guess. I think this is an ace. If we look.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Let's try it again. So that's one, and then let's cut the deck 2 or 3 times. Once, twice, 3 times, and if we just tap the top like this, is probably another ace. Right
oh my gosh!
There we go like this.
I love it.
Let's see, Scott. Say stop whenever you want, Scott.
Stop.
Right there, great. Let's have a look at that. It's probably that's
another.
Oh,
geez.
And then let's just shuffle the deck like so, a little bit like that. And if we just cut it once, twice, 3 times like this. And the greatest thing is I'll just show you the top card. It's a lot easier to figure that out. So that's the king of spades, right? If you just go like this, watch. It's actually the ace of clubs. That's the way I kind of play cards. Hence why I'm not allowed to play cards.
Yeah. This guy's not allowed in the casino.
I know. I got one more if you want to see it.
Absolutely, Murray. I could sit here all day.
Okay, perfect. So I got 4 postcards. Love to travel. They're kind of famous postcards. I also got a little notepad here as well, which we'll use in just a second. It's nothing too special with the notepad. It's just a blank notepad, which you'll see in a second. And the pretty famous photos. We got the Mona Lisa, right? And then we have Dolly right there, self-portrait. And then we got I think the Scream, right?
Yeah, the Scream, yeah.
The girl with the pearl earring. Yeah.
Yep.
There's 4 cards, as you can see. I'm going to shuffle them like so. I want you to say stop whenever you wish, all right?
Stop.
Right there. Great. I'm going to turn this over. You guys have a look at what you stopped at, okay? I don't really want to see it. You guys have a look at it. I know it's kind of hard with the webcam, but you can see that. You got it?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to put those away. And I've got my little notepad here. And I want you to watch very carefully on this. I've got my hairspray, which I always carry with me. Why not? And if you look really careful, I'm going to take a wild guess what the card that you stopped on, which postcard you stopped on. So don't say anything to me just yet, but I'm just going to see if I can visually figure this out with my hairspray and this pad. I'm going to spray on the pad. Watch. You see anything yet?
No.
Okay, that's the right answer. How about now?
No.
No. All right. Let me just hang on. Let me just keep it a little.
Oh my God.
Holy mother of pearl. Look at you.
Gee whiz.
Is that Mona Lisa?
Mona Lisa.
Is that what you chose? Yes.
Mona Lisa. Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, that was it.
Wow. Holy cow, Sue. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
All the things work there, Murray, in the morning. Murray, the magician in the morning.
Murray, you don't do the We've had like 3 different guys on because I love to have illusionists and magicians on. We've had I think it's 3 different guys now who you draw the bowling ball and then it comes out from the bottom of the thing. If I tell you the first time we saw that, the 2 of us, because we're 2-year-olds, I mean, we were
We had a lot of
hysterical.
ball
Man.
jokes.
It's a classic. Yeah,
it's a classic.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Here's something funny I just found randomly, because Pawn Stars I've been on for years, right? For 15 years. And so they always have these random different items on. And this sword came in. I'm going to lean back so you can see the actual sword, right? And it looks like an old sword. It's not. Somebody brought it in. It's not really that old at all. But I've been learning I wouldn't advise trying this at home, but I'm going to do it just for you guys, just because I can. So watch carefully. I'm going to try to get back as far as I can. But watch. Here we go.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't want it. I don't. Ay. Ugh. It's too much for me to look at, Scott.
Come on.
That's a lot.
I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm not going to hurt my hair.
I was going to say, is that folding as it goes down?
Great? How stupid is that?
That's
I
a
love
lot.
it.
All right.
And it looked real. It looked real when you did it.
Yeah. So does my hair.
Oh,
So what the hell?
So fun. I love it. And yes, Pawn Stars, I was watching that. And whenever somebody brings in something that involves magic, they have you come in to kind of, I guess give the authenticity to it.
Yeah. I've been friends with those guys for years. And I was on the road with them hosting their live show when they first came out the first couple of years. And they said, hey, you should really come on our show. And I said, yeah, I'd love to. You know, I don't know if I want to just bring something on. So you should be an expert. I said, well, all right. I said, I'm an expert on magic. He says, let's bring some magic on. And I said, do people bring stuff into a store that's magic related? So, well, in Vegas, they do. I said, well, I never thought about that. So anyways, I think our first thing was a set of Houdini handcuffs that came on, which were super cool. And this is way back, I think 2013 or 14. So.
I love it. Murray, listen, man, thank you so much for coming on, bud. It's Murray the Magician. Do you ever go by Sawchuck or it's just Murray the Magician?
I do. You know, it depends. When I'm acting on TV, Sawchuck's in the credits because that's just, my name.
Yeah.
But, just for marketing, Murray the Magician, just because Sawchuck's not the easiest name to remember or spell, etc. So either way, it's funny when people see me from different avenues. When they say Sawchuck, I know what they've seen me on. And if they see a magician, I know what they've seen me on. So
I love it. Listen, you got to go on to Tubi, get the 1 hour special. What's it called? It's because it's gone.
Yeah, it's called so Murray live in Las Vegas. It's gone with a
It's gone.
Z. It's gone, and it just came out a few weeks ago. So people are
and also the kids book. You got to go on. Murray, what's your website location?
My website is murraymagic.com. So everything's right there, so super simple. Or you just Google my name and you'll see more than you ever want to see. So
I love it. Murray, thank you, my man. Thank you so much for taking some time.
Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. When you guys are in Vegas, you're always a guest of my show, right?
Oh,
thanks, Murray.
And John DiDomenico?
He's such a dear friend. I love that guy.
Dude, when you see John, he's been on a few. We love him. Give him a kiss for us and tell him.
He's phenomenal. He just lives about 10 minutes from me. We met years ago. He did President Trump, obviously.
Yeah.
As he was being voted in and all that stuff. And there's something on my YouTube channel somewhere where I did 3 tricks in the White House. And it was him and I. And it's on my YouTube channel somewhere. I actually just forgot about it because it's been so long ago now. And I love John. Great guy.
He's the best, man. He's the best. Murray, thank you so much, man. Continued success, bud.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Have a great week.
Take care, pal. Bye-bye. Wow, that's so great.
Funny.
I would love to. I'd love to have a show in Vegas and you just live in there and show girls and I'm in my basement, Sook.
Oh my God.
I'm in the basement. Hey, can you get me out of here?
I'm
please?
in my basement now too.
Oh, is that room in the basement?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, look at you. You spruced it up a little bit.
I spruced it up.
And we're good
and
to
I'm
go.
so excited.
Sook, listen, we're done for the week. Got more calls. We got meetings. Paul Stanley's coming up soon. Tara Lipinski's coming up soon. There was somebody else. I totally forgot. His name just went out of my head. And Daryl Hall from Hall and Oates. He's coming on soon. So yeah, we're gonna have a great time. And that's it, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll re-air the show tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Share with your friends. Philly kid still on vacation. He's got a road trip. He's on the beach in Florida. And we love you guys. Wow.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Scotty.
You're not drinking enough water, so you're dehydrated. And you're not eating enough fruits and vegetables, so you're not as healthy as you can be. Here's the solution. VitaPod drinks are packed with vitamins, minerals, and key nutrients, giving you what you need. Fill the bottle with water, put in the pod, twist, then shake and enjoy. VitaPods taste fresh and delicious. Plus, you'll have more energy and feel better when you're hydrated and healthier. VitaPods cost a fraction of bottled drinks. You'll save hundreds this year. VitaPods are 1/16 the plastic of single-use bottles and easy to recycle. Forget sugar-packed sodas. VitaPods are sugar-free, all-natural, and low-calorie, perfect for weight loss. And they taste incredible, with flavors like blueberry pomegranate and raspberry hibiscus, with formulations for hydration, beauty, energy, sports, and more. Get 40% off with coupon code HealthX at VitapodWorld.com. That's VitapodWorld.com.
Suki and Scott show. We are feeling good today.
Multi-Emmy Award-winning co-hosts Sukanya Krishnan and Scott Stanford captivate viewers with their infectious personalities.
Everybody go hotel, motel. What you gonna do today?
Say what?
And unmatched chemistry.
An Irish accent.
Suki, this is a Belgian accent. Don't you know your Belgian accent?
I do not. My clock is ticking. It's not like ticking like tick. It's ticking like this.
It's like, woo, it's getting cold in here.
Suki and Scott are hanging out with celebrities.
That's the best intro for a show I maybe have ever seen.
This is one of the funnest shows I've ever done.
You guys are talented amongst your own selves.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
We'll be right back.
Elite comedians.
Suki and Scott and Wayne. Got a big heart, Scott.
And entertainers from all four corners of the world. Suki and Scott share moments that make you think.
I just ate 2 grapefruits and nothing sexual about what happened here, I gotta tell you.
Uplifting stories that inspire.
No matter how hard life gets or what you go through, you can always make it through.
And they'll make you smile.
Humpback.
Now more than ever, the world needs laughter.
You just slip out the back, Jack.
I don't know. It would be so fun to see your face at my door.
Suki and Scott are ready. Let's laugh together. The Suki and Scott Show.
Where happiness lives.
Do I give a thumbs up?
Go.
Are you a Sinatra guy?
I certainly can be. I'm more of a Nat King Cole guy or a Joe Williams guy.
Okay. Nice. All right. So if there's a Nat King Cole tune that you had to do, which one would it be?
I used to walk with you along the avenue. Our hearts were carefree and gay. How could I know I'd lose you somewhere along the way?
Ah, man. You know what, Keith? It's too easy for you. I don't like it. It's too easy.
Cards, keep it face up. Take that card, put it face down inside the deck. He's doing a fantastic job, isn't he?
I'm all over this. I'm all over this.
Mix them up and then place them back inside the box once you're done.
Box?
Toss it back up to me. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So.
Oh, Suki, see that?
I was like, what happened just there?
So what we have here, we have a deck of cards that, Scott, you shuffled, you mixed up, you pulled one card out, you looked at it, you memorized it. What was that card?
It was the 8 of clubs.
The 8 of clubs. You then took that 8 of clubs, flipped it face down, and put it face down in that face up deck. So there's all cards face up except for one card. All cards face up except.
Don't even tell me, Suki.
One card, you shuffled it somewhere.
If that's the 8 of clubs, no way. Oh, come on. Get out of here. Come on, man.
Thank you.
That's unbelievable.
Yes, I got to get one down there real quick. Thankfully, they're good. Thankfully, they're good. Here we go. Almost.
Pulling out the floss. Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God. Oh God. What just happened? What just happened? What just happened? What just happened?
Get out of here.
Like, how about I teach? Can I teach a trick? Is that cool?
Oh, yeah, I love that. Go ahead.
It's called an optical illusion. An optical illusion, your mind plays a trick on itself, right?
Okay.
So it's very easy to do. And you at home could do it as well. You need a blank piece of paper. You draw 4 dots on this side. You draw 1 dot on that side. You draw 6 dots on that side and 3 dots on that side. I'll do it again. That's okay. 4 on that side, 1 on that side, 6 on that side, 3 on that side. I'll show you how he did this. You see, I drew 5 dots. It's an optical illusion, right? So you draw a dot in each corner and then a dot on the left side or right side, depending on how you look at it. But what you do before you come up on stage, whether it be backstage or out of view, you take your hand, you go over that dot like so, making sure your fingers are close together. This doesn't look as good. Fingers close together. And as you flip it quickly, and you have to do it quickly, because it's an optical illusion, you place your hand over that empty spot, creating the illusion that there's 6 dots, right? It tricks your mind into thinking that there's 6 dots because our brain is trained in seeing 6 dots in this formation. 4, 6. Now the opposite side, same concept. There's not 1, there's not 3, there's actually only 2. So if you take your hand, you go over that dot like so, there's 1 dot. You take your other hand, you go over that empty spot. It gives the illusion, it tricks their mind into thinking that there's 3 dots. Now the hard part here, the hard part's not to remove your hand unless you know a little bit of magic to show that there's 6 dots.
I knew he was going to do that, Suki.
To show 3 dots there. And to be honest, I don't know how 8 dots got on that side. That amazes me.
I was like, this is not, he's not teaching us.
They never teach us. It's always part
There's
of
a little trick at the end there, right?